Good morning. Happy Monday, June 22nd. How are you? Did you have a nice weekend? You know, it's funny about my musings. I really have no idea what I'm going to talk about until the night before. But I give a list to Jackie of what to announce the week before. And so I had no idea what Spirit had in mind when they were Barnacle Bill the Sailor. Because, you know, Barnacle Bill the Sailor and all those sailor songs have such terrible lyrics and such potty mouths. But then when I meditated on it, Spirit told me what it was all about. And what it's all about is your life, whether you are, covered with barnacles that drag you down and keep you away from your flow, or whether you're living your life with smooth sailing. And I thought, well, that's so interesting, isn't it? So what are the things that create barnacles on the boat of the life that we are floating on? And how do we prevent ourselves from not going in the flow? So what weighs us down? Well, you know what's interesting? When I looked at some things that weighed us down, what they were, one of them was your accustomed way of thinking. Are you stuck in a never-ending cycle that your mind ruminates over and over, and you know that you're stuck? Well, you know, that's a barnacle on your boat for sure, and you have to stop and examine your feelings from a third-party perspective. That's one of the reasons we actually go to a life coach or a counselor, because they may give us a different perspective as we ruminate and get stuck. You know, that old saying, you can't see the forest through the trees. That's a barnacle on our boat, and it keeps us from smooth sailing and moving forward. And so your reality and your perspective on life are connected. The things we think about are what we create. What we believe is the world that we live in. And it may actually be a different world than what you think. And so we have to take a different approach at life and maybe open our minds a little bit so we don't have these things that weigh us down in a way in which we can't move forward spiritually. You know, all those wasted minutes and hours, that the waste of time are barnacles on our boat. You know, don't get concerned, don't mix this up. I don't know what the word was that was going to come out of my mouth. Don't get this mixed up with just filling your time with activity, because that's not good either. It's really about balance, okay? So you can't work every minute of the day because you're in a state of avoidance, and you can't be a slug laying on the couch because you're in a state of avoidance. Those are both barnacles on the boat, so you have to find some way of finding balance. Your past failures are terrible inhibitors of moving forward in life in a manner that allows you to embrace yourself with success. If you're bogged down by thinking about all your past failures, then you're bogged down and you can't move. You're actually anchored. It's more than having a barnacle. It's an anchoring. But the same thing for people who live in their glory days. Do you know what I mean by that? Have you ever met somebody that lives in their glory days from high school, like they were the football quarterback and they can't get over, that they were the guy that everybody looked up to in high school, but now as an adult, they can't seem to find their way? You know, we can get caught in our failures and we can get caught in our successes instead of staying in that place of consciousness where we use both successes and failures as a platform to move forward and to define ourselves in the now. Your past partners are barnacles on your boat. I got a few of those. And your past partners don't define you. What they should do is help you to know where your strengths and weaknesses are. It takes two always. I'm the first one to say that. And when you look at past relationships, if you have repeating patterns and every relationship is the same but with a different face, then you need to take a real good, strong look at what your part is in it, what you're dragging in through your subconscious thought process that attracts that kind of thing over and over, because it's a belief system about yourself. Those habits that you hate but have a difficult time getting rid of, okay? Well, the interesting thing about the habits that we hate are kind of those habits that we love. Take smoking for an example. Right now, smoking has been discovered to be one of the worst things you can do for your health. When I was young, which was a long time ago, we smoked starting at 14 years old. You could go into the drugstore with babysitting money and buy cigarettes. But those habits that you love and hate are really barnacles on your boat, and you have to do something to work through them. And it takes 21 days to create a new habit. And if you need a little bit of help with that, you have to do that as well. Okay, Number 8 here, this is a big barnacle in today's world. Wave after wave of useless information that you allow to be stuffed down your throat. Wow. Okay. Let's talk about how that's happening to us over and over again. Useless information that's being stuffed down our throats, and information that is all kind of blurred and tainted with judgment and division. That's a big barnacle on our boat right now, and that's in the collective consciousness right now, because unless we have some kind of situation where we can collaborate and honor each other and our differences, including our political differences, then we're going to get in a situation, we're going to stay stuck, and our boats will never float. Okay. That job that makes you want to never wake up and go to work. Do you hate your job? That's a barnacle on your boat. Now, you'd be surprised how many people that I've talked to that have gotten new jobs during COVID-19. It would shock you. Bill and I were just talking about where there's a will, there's a way. Well, you know why that saying where there's a will, there's a way is because the law of attraction kicks in with your vibration. And when your vibration is a vibration of success and not putting up with toxicity in any way, shape, or form, whether it be a relationship or a job, the universe will make a place for you. All those people that bring negativity into your life or other barnacles on your boat, you have to weed some of that stuff out, you guys, and including the friends that hold you back. False belief systems. We are all raised with false belief systems because we measure ourselves by the false belief systems that were given to us by teachers, by ministers, priests, and by parents, because they're generational false belief systems. That's what superstition is. Number 13, your unhealthy lifestyle. That not working out, not eating right, all of those things are barnacles on your boat, okay? And your pointless fears. Your pointless fears are something that just gets in your way. They are such giant hurdles. Believing that stress is a bad thing. Do you know stress is stress even when it's positive stress? And it only becomes bad when you believe it's bad for you, as well as other emotions that are motivating emotions. You can't stay stuck in stress and worry and anger. You can't stay stuck in apathy or complacency, but they can make some movement for you energetically if you honor them for what they are. And lastly is your poor self-image. That's a huge barnacle on your boat. Some of that comes, again, from childhood. Healing the inner child is so, so very important, especially if your childhood was riddled with trauma. You could be stuck at the trauma age. If you had a problem at 11, if your parent died when you were 13, if you were molested, those things keep you stuck unless you go get some good counseling and some objective counseling, a counselor that doesn't project onto you. So that's my musing for this morning. I see a lot of people saying hello to me. Mindy, you do have to stop ruminating, honey. I think the best thing to do is to do some journaling. If you want to do a journaling class of some kind, let me know, and we'll make sure we put that in front of you. And I hope you all have a very happy Monday.